call tonight, that'd be great. I'm just going to put it on speaker view and we'll get started. This is a recorded call. Thank you everybody for joining. Wednesday night Team B call, and we have a very special guest tonight. I'm just going to go to my email and open up the intro. Okay, so let's get started right away because I can't wait to get training from Janine. So Janine, Finney, and her, I'm going to say her mom, right? Lori Muirhead. So they're the mother and daughter co-authors of the Flip Flop CEO and their new book, Does the Shoe Fit? Their own experience of having strongly opposing views on the topic of network marketing inspired them to write these books. Both books are written to connect with skeptics and help set the record straight with about what network marketing is and is not. And I read this book years ago, and I went to go on the shelf to get it when we first got connected. I'm like, of course I would have lent it out and never got my book back. But I loved it. It was so fun. It was so playful. It was so authentic. I love the stories. I don't have your second book, but totally want to get it. She resides, you're in California, is that correct?
Correct, yes. I'm at an RV park in California.
Yay, that's awesome. And I think we got kind of connected through our friends in Arizona, I think. Sarah Beardmore, Kim Barker, and I think it was Kim that said, oh, you got to get together and get her on a call so that she can share a little bit more about like what she's up to. And, you know, just as a leader, I know we have like a huge organization in Canada. And I would say, you know, and you would know this, the four biggest beliefs when somebody starts is around product, company, network marketing, and themselves. And most people have belief in the product because they sign up as a distributor because they usually have a story. They start getting a paycheck, so they start believing in the company. Okay, they're legit. They're paying me, you know, every month. But the two biggest ones that we see where people slow down in their success is because of the belief in themselves and the belief in stories they have around network marketing. So I'm just so excited for you to kind of take over the call and share a little bit about your own experience and your book experience so that you can share a little bit of your insights being a network marketing pro with another company, not with Juice Plus, but another company where you successfully built, but figured out how to help people deal with skeptics around network marketing. So we have till 9 o'clock. It's 8:33, maybe leave about 5 minutes for Q&A at the end. So I'm gonna let you, yeah, everybody, this is Janine, and welcome to the call.
Thank you so much. Yes, as you said, you know, you have read the book a while back and you loaned it out to someone that didn't return it. And that's exactly why I'm excited to do this training. What we found out is that most of the people, we wrote our book for the skeptics. Our story is on our website, but basically I was the very skeptical mother. My daughter is the one that absolutely got it. And because we battled for a year and just, it was awful because I would not listen. I thought I knew what I was talking about. I had an experience 30 years ago that was horrible and made me never want to have anything to do with network marketing. And so I totally get what it's like to be skeptical. And once I started talking to people myself, I found out that a lot of other people feel exactly the way I do. And so we decided that there needed to be a tool. There needed to be a kind of a smart, sassy, girlfriend to girlfriend, but it works for guys too, tool to use to educate someone about what network marketing is and what it is not. And so we really didn't want to write a book. We are the only people, I think, on the planet that never really wanted to write a book, but because we felt that there was a need that was not being met. And what happens is when we get into network marketing, we forget what it was like before we drank the Kool-Aid. It's kind of like people just switch in, you know, you either get it or you don't get it. And once you do, you forget what it was like when you didn't. And so we really wanted to have a resource, and we wrote the book so that it would connect with skeptics. And that's exactly what the books do. The truth is, though, that there is a certain way to use them. And that's what I want to talk about. And what we found is that, you know, a lot of people have bought the book, but what's happened is that most of the people that have read the book are already in network marketing. They're people that are already network marketers. They're not the skeptics. And what we hoped would happen is that the people that are in network marketing would give the book to the people around them that don't understand our business model. And that's not really what's happened, or it's happened and never went anywhere. Just like with what you said, Nicole, you give the book to somebody and then you never get it back. Well, what happens when you hand somebody a book and ask them to read it, even if the person has the best intentions, they're going to sit it on a nightstand, they're going to sit it on a table somewhere, and they're not going to read it, especially if they're skeptical, because they don't really have any incentive to read it. So what we found is that by really being very specific, and I'm going to kind of give you the steps, and asking the person to only read the first 3 chapters. It takes 30 minutes to read the first 3 chapters, and what our experience has been is that if you ask somebody to read the first 3 chapters, most of the time they're going to finish the book. The book is really easy to read. It's super simple. Again, girlfriend to girlfriend kind of conversation, and people read it. It doesn't take long to read. And so, but the trick is to really not just ask them to read the book, because what will happen, we know, is that you'll give, you can buy 10 books and give them all away and you won't get them back. And we believe that together, coming together with people from other network marketing companies, a rising tide lifts all boats. And so if we can come together with people from other companies and really educate, especially women are begging, they're searching for exactly what we have, but they don't recognize it because of the way it's packaged. And, I overheard you for a second before we started the call, and you mentioned that, somebody that starts this business has a franchise. It really is like a franchise. And so, we believe that if smart, successful people understand the business, they'll want to do it. But most of the time when people are saying no, they're saying no to what they think it is rather than what it actually is. So it is our absolute passion to educate the people that are in network marketing about how to enlighten the people that are around them. That's the only way that we're ever going to change the stigma and change the perception of what network marketing is. So basically, what I want to do is show you how to use the book and why use the book, first of all. I mean, a book is a great resource because it duplicates. And somebody that is just getting into the business or somebody that's been in the business for years can use a book. So, our business is all about duplication. And so we want to use something that anybody can use. Anybody, a 10-year-old can hand somebody a book and ask them to read the first 3 chapters. So it's really easy. And, we think it's really important for people to have respect for network marketing first. What happens, again, is when people read this book, they go from not understanding it, thinking it's something that they would never do, to being like, oh my gosh, this makes total sense. So once they respect network marketing, then you can talk to them about your franchise. If somebody didn't know what a franchise was, and they didn't have any respect for it, then, having that conversation is going to be very different. So we want to really educate them about what it is that you're talking to them about. A third-party resource is objective. And, we all have a toolbox. We all have like samples. We have, brochures. We have information for people. So these books are to be used in your toolbox. And we always say, use the tool, don't try to be the tool. And again, I think what happens so many times when people are talking about network marketing, they try to be the tool. They try to explain it. We get into debates. We get into the situation of you're right, I'm right, you're wrong kind of thing. And that's what Lori and I did. My daughter, when she was trying to tell me that this business was so great, I had my own opinion and I was not going to listen to what she said. So it really is going to keep you from debating with people, which is what we really want to do. And it takes you out of that kind of battle. It just, you can hand somebody a book and then, let the book be the messenger. You don't have to be. The other thing is that it's important, I think, to recognize is that we represent in our business 2 things. We represent products and we represent a business opportunity. And they're 2 very different things and very different conversations. And what I have found is that a lot of times people, and especially I'm sure with your company, because you guys have such great products that are necessary and needed for anybody, can help anyone. So what happens is I think sometimes we can become very passionate about our products, but maybe the people that are passionate about the product don't know how to bridge that gap in speaking to somebody about the business. And so, the book is going to help those people that are maybe really super comfortable talking about the products, but aren't so comfortable talking about the business. This is going to give you a way to do it that is easier and more authentic. Because we are really solution providers. I mean, we're in the job of listening. And when somebody that, we work with is basically talking about the fact that they're not making enough money, or their husband or wife just got laid off, or, if you hear somebody that has a problem that this business could be a solution for, this is a way for you to bridge that gap and start having a conversation that is very authentic and doesn't sound cheesy. I think, that's what happens. A lot of people kind of just get, weird when they start talking about the business. And so this is going to give you a more authentic way to talk about it. So what you want to do, again, the setup is critical. You don't want to just hand somebody a book and ask them to read it, because again, it's not going to get read. But you're going to ask somebody to read just the first 3 chapters. You're going to tell them that it takes about 30 minutes. And I have verbiage examples of what to say to all kinds of different people. And I can send that to you after the call, Nicole, and you can share that with everyone. For people that like to just hear an example of what they might say, it might help them. And you can be thinking of all the people in your life that that fit into one of these categories. And then you want to choose the verbiage that is authentic to you, of course. But so basically, you're going to ask them to read the first 3 chapters. You're going to tell them it takes 30 minutes, and you're going to find out what is the easiest way for them to read it, because you're asking them to sort of do you this favor. So we have the book. The Flip Flop CEO is available in paperback or Audible or Kindle. So you're going to find out, would they prefer to have a book? Would they prefer Audible or Kindle? And what I really encourage you to do is ask them, because what can happen a lot of times is people think, oh, I love Audible books. That's all I ever, I just listen to books. But some people may not feel the same way as you do. So it's really about them. So you want to find out which way is going to be the easiest for them to do this. And then you're going to set up agreed upon time frame. This is super important. You want to say, I want to ask you to do something for me, and do you think that you could read, it's going to take about 30 minutes, and do you think you could read the first 3 chapters of this book, but I need you to do it in a week. Do you think you could do it by next Wednesday? And if they say, no, I'm going on a cruise, then say, you know what, then I'll just wait till you get back. Don't give it to them. If they are not able to read the book within a week, or 2 weeks maximum, then don't give it to them yet. Give it to somebody else. I mean, again, these are business tools. This is a resource that you have to educate someone around you. And so you don't want to just hand out books. And the only way that we're going to educate the skeptics is by having them open these books. And when they open the books and they read them, I guarantee you that you are going to have a different kind of conversation than you've ever had with that person, because that's what happens with people when they read it. Everything that we address, all of the common objections, we address all the stigma, rather than just avoiding the elephant in the room and acting like there is no stigma and nobody's skeptical. We talk about it. We lift up the carpet and show that elephant, and we talk about it. And so when you do that, then you can have honest conversations with people. What can happen too is that you can use it for your spouse or your next door neighbor or your sister or your mother, somebody that's in your life that you would like to have support you in your business. And right now they don't support you at all. Just like I was with Lori. There was no way over my dead body that she was going to get into this business because I didn't understand it. And so if there's anybody in your life that you wish supported you. You just wish that they got what you do. These books are the resources to do that. They're going to change people's minds. So, but again, it's all about asking them to read just the first 3 chapters. Most people will do you a favor and do something for you that takes 30 minutes. You can say, I'm thinking about using this as a business tool. I need to have somebody that really doesn't know anything about network marketing, or somebody that's skeptical about network marketing. Read the first 3 chapters and give me your honest feedback. And most people will do that for you if you ask them in a heart-to-heart way. So I want to talk about too, who is the book for? I've kind of mentioned it's really great for brand new consultants. What can happen to brand new consultants, and I know you guys are going to relate to this, you know, you're having a conversation with them, they're very excited about the business, and then they leave you and they go home and they talk to somebody that's skeptical, or they go to work and they go, oh my gosh, you're not going to do one of those things, are you? And then all of a sudden you've lost them. So rather than have them alienate themselves, give them a book to use from the get-go and say, hey, I'm doing this thing I'm excited about. I really don't even know how to explain it. This book, I read it and it really made sense to me. Would you read the first 3 chapters and then tell me what you think? So it's really about the way that you ask. And again, I'm going to give you some really specific verbiage examples that I think will fit for everybody that you know and make you feel really comfortable with doing it. But for brand new consultants, it can be so important to protect them from the naysayers around them and keep them from alienating themselves by getting in debates with people. And it's really great for family and friends that you want to support you. Again, spouses, mother, daughter, neighbor, close friends. And then if you're in any kind of social groups, like moms groups or those kinds of things, sports activities, and you're with people that you're sitting there thinking, oh my gosh, she keeps talking about wanting this or that. I would really like to talk to her about this business, but I don't know how to bridge that gap. So it's really great for that kind of a situation as well. Co-workers, again, I think for a lot of people that are still working, you know, they're sitting and talking to people all the time that are sharing what's not working for them in their lives. And a lot of times more money, more time, more flexibility, more freedom would be the solution that they're looking for. And that's what we have to offer, but people don't understand that that's what we have initially. Because when you say network marketing, they go back to whatever their experience is, and you know, they may just be saying no before they even understand. So also, it's really great for people that you admire and trust. You know, maybe there's people in your life that would be, you know, maybe you want them in the business, maybe not. They're just somebody that you really have a lot of respect for. They're good business people. They're successful in life. Those are great people to say, you know what, I'm doing something and I would love to get your feedback on what you would do if you were me growing this business. I really think would help to understand it though. So would you read the first 3 chapters of this book, and then let's get back together, and I'd love to get your take on it and see what you think I should be doing to build my business. So it's great for people that you admire and trust, and those are people that you can ask for referrals. I've done this before, and I've had people say, oh my gosh, as I was reading this book, I kept thinking about my sister or my neighbor, or, you know, they're thinking about other people, even if they're not thinking it's right for them. It's a great way to get referrals to other people. And anybody on your chicken list. And I have a story about somebody that was on my chicken list that I used the book for, that's kind of a little testimonial. And it's basically, I was going to a hormone doctor. And I kept thinking every time I would go to her, she would talk about how much she loved to travel, and she just was a free spirit. And I thought, how in the world does she even stand to come into this office every day? I would really like to talk to her about this. And so the next time I went in, but she's a doctor, and I was intimidated and I didn't know how to bridge that gap. So the next time I went in, I took a book and I said, you know what, I'm supposed to find somebody that is really a very successful person. I'm doing this little experiment with this group, and I'm supposed to find somebody that's a really successful person already and ask them to read the first 3 chapters of this book and give me their feedback. Would you do that for me? And, you know, she said, sure, I would do that. And I said, okay. So I gave her the book and I said, could you do it, do you think, in a week? And she said, yeah, I think I can. So I gave her a week. I followed up with her and I said, have you read the book? And she said, no, I've been so busy. I'm so sorry, but give me one more week. I promise I'll read it. So again, if you set that time frame and somebody doesn't do it, at least you're setting up the right expectations. So I called her back in a week and she was completely different. She said, oh my gosh, there are no accidents. I cannot believe that you had me read this book. She said, I have a friend in Hawaii that's been trying to talk to me about her network marketing business for years, and I would not give her the time of day. And now I totally get why she thought of me and why she's interested in talking to me about this. So truly, that's the kind of thing that can happen with just 30 minutes of asking them for their time. So again, what you want to do every time is 3 things. Why are you want to tell them why you're giving them the book. Why you're giving them the book is that, and again, the verbiage is going to help you with, you talk about that you're needing to earn more money, but you don't have any time. So I keep thinking about you, and I wanted to see if this might be something you'd be interested in. Whatever it is, again, the verbiage I'm going to send you, you're going to tell them why you're asking them to read the book. And I mean, at the first 3 chapters, why you're asking them to read the first 3 chapters. The second thing you're going to do is give them instruction. So the second thing you're going to do is find out again, what is the best mode for them to take in this information? Is it better for them to read it? Do they like a hard copy of a book? Do they like Kindle, or would they prefer Audible? Now, Does the Shoe Fit is not in Audible yet, but it is Kindle and hard copy. And I'll explain the difference in Does the Shoe Fit and the Flip Flop CEO 2 in just a sec. But you want to find out which one is going to be best for them. And then you want to set up agreed upon time frame. So again, you want to just say, do you think you could do this in the next week or 2 weeks max? But you really want to just get an agreed upon time frame. And even if they don't do it in that time frame, they will then feel terrible that they didn't, and give them another week and they will do it. And then the third thing is you want to give them permission to be completely honest. You want to tell them that you truly want their honest feedback. And, I know it can be kind of scary to ask for somebody's honest feedback. Gosh, in network marketing, I think a lot of people have such misperceptions. And so it can be kind of scary to ask that open-ended kind of question. But I've got to tell you, I have had so many stories, so many success stories about people that have done this exactly this way and asked for somebody's honest feedback, just like I did with my hormone doctor. And the people will come back and they'll say, this is just really different than I thought it was. I mean, really, you cannot read the book and not believe that network marketing is brilliant. I mean, it's just that most people don't understand, they're stuck on some part of what they think it is. And so again, we go one by one through all of the misconceptions. And so somebody is walking away really informed and understanding what this business model is about. So I have another testimonial. I talked to a leader from another company, and she said, I love your book. I give it to all of my people that promote. And I said, oh, and she said, what's wrong? And I said, everybody uses the book to give to people that promote, or they give it as a Christmas gift, or they give it as some kind of gift to other network marketers. And I said, we wrote the book to be given to skeptics. So I would love to see more network marketers using the book as it was intended to enlighten skeptics. And she said, well, okay, so what do you mean? I said, well, there's a very specific way to do it. So I explained to her what I've just been explaining just now. And I said, so don't just hand somebody the book, give it to them and ask them to read the first 3 chapters. So she said, okay, I've got a gal that I think I would like to do that with. So she wrote me this little testimonial, and she said, so glad you told me to have them read only the first 3 chapters. The membership manager at the local country club is a sharp young woman who is a professional golfer. She loved our products but couldn't wrap her head around the industry. After you encouraged me to use the book exactly as you said, I gave her your book, asked her to read the first 3 chapters. She read the whole thing cover to cover. She gave her 2 weeks notice and she's ready to go. How cool is that? So that is truly, that's a real story of somebody that actually did this. So I can't emphasize enough though, it's really about, following these steps and doing it in a very specific way, very intentionally. And then Does the Shoe Fit, our second book. So here's Does the Shoe Fit. And I'm sorry, I'm on my phone. I was all set up to do this on my computer and now I'm holding my phone. So I hope that it's coming out okay. But here's Does the Shoe Fit, our second book. And it's the sequel to the Flip Flop CEO. And again, it meets another need that we felt was not being met. What happens is that the Flip Flop CEO really dispels all the myths about network marketing. So it really educates someone on the business model of network marketing. But what happens is a lot of times people want to know, okay, but would I be good at network marketing? How do I know how to choose a company? We just did a call for a group of professional women in corporate America, and exactly the questions they ask. They want to know, they're used to kind of this corporate world. They want to know if their resume transfers to network marketing. And how do you know if you would be good at this business after you've been a sales rep or a flight attendant or, a nurse? And so what Does the Shoe Fit does is it bridges the gap between network marketing and traditional 9-to-5 jobs. Just like in the Flip Flop CEO, we have stories about people from different backgrounds and how they got into network marketing. And in Does the Shoe Fit, we have it broken down by professional background. So if somebody is a nurse or a teacher or a doctor, and they want to know how they would fit into network marketing, you're going to hear from somebody that has that exact same background as they do. And it's going to make it more comfortable for them to assess it. It basically also talks, Nicole, about exactly what you just said. What is really important to be successful in network marketing are the 4 beliefs. Beliefs in the products, belief in the company, belief in the profession, and belief in yourself. And it really helps somebody understand those things. And for people that are not successful and they want to be, it really is kind of a self-assessment of which area of belief is missing. Honestly.
Sure.
Yeah.
Janine, I'm going to just jump in here because we've only got a couple minutes and we have a 9 o'clock prospect call. This has been awesome. Like I said, I love your book. I just actually bought it on Audible for like $11, so it's very, very affordable. Where can people, so Audible, so that was easy. Where else can they get hard copy from?
They can get it from Amazon.
Okay.
Or from our website, theflipflopceo.com.
Okay.
And what I want to do is also send you a link that you can post with this call. What I'm doing is offering the book at half off, the hard copies, through our website for people that do this training. So I want to make it really easy to get the book in the hands of network marketers to give to skeptics. So for doing this training, you can go to theflipflopceo.com and you can enter the code HALF, HALF, and you can get the book, both books, for 50% off.
Okay, great. Yeah, so if you send me that email, I'll pass it along to the team and post it with this recording. And then, yeah, definitely, I could see our leaders definitely starting to use it, getting great results and starting to share it with their teams as well. So I definitely am excited about it. If I would have had this tool 15 years ago when I first started, I'm sure it would have saved myself a lot of pain for all the skeptics that I've come across. And for all the newbies that are just starting out, I think having at least one copy in your hand, at a minimum, to start sharing it with those skeptics, it will definitely bring a lot more ease and peace as you build your business. So again, thank you so much for your time, jumping on, sharing from your heart. Thank you for being brave and vulnerable to writing a book and getting it out there to the world so that we can have a different image of network marketing, and that we partner together as, you know, as women to lift each other up and really build these empires so that we can really live our dream life. And we just really appreciate you and the work that you've done. Thank you, Team B, for jumping on. I know we got a 9 o'clock call now on the other line for prospecting. So thank you again, everybody. Have a great night, and the recording will be up tomorrow on our site. Thanks, everyone. Have a great night.
Thank you.